All right, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got an interview with some absolute rock stars. So Val, Josh, appreciate you guys hopping on. And yeah, so they started a car flipping business, scaled that pretty well, and then started a coaching business, teaching other people how to flip cars, and they've been absolutely crushing it. So you guys have seen some pretty explosive growth recently. And I know we were just talking before we started recording, things happened very, very slowly and then all at once. So do you mind kind of giving a quick little background, just a quick little intro, kind of like who you guys are, how long you've been doing this for, and kind of what the process has been like so far?
Yeah, of course. We started this coaching thing in January, and like I heard of you from even before that because I had an agency last year. And I always wanted to work with you, and like we were having extremely like inconsistent results, like a few K every month or so. And then I was like, if we keep going at this pace, we're not going to be at where we want for a long time. Like, let's just bite the bullet. Join your program and see what happens. And yeah, like it's been like the best decision we've made. So
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. Can you speak on kind of like um some of the steps that we've done to like kind of unlock that growth and unlock that scale? I'm curious to kind of hear your guys' perspective too.
yeah, so in the beginning it was like just getting used to everything and like the strategy, you teach, like if you know ads or you've done ads before, like in the beginning I was like, oh, like what the fuck is this? Like I don't even know if this is gonna work. Like you understand what I mean, right? And yeah, like it wasn't working and it was our fault. And then we basically improved every part of the funnel, like middle of funnel, our, VSL, everything. And then we realized it was the setting. And then once we took care of that, everything blew up. Like we packed out our calendar days in advance. Like this week we've been packing out both of our calendars. And it's just been insane. Like we didn't expect like the numbers were starting to do so rapidly, even ourselves. So
That's awesome. And we're actually talking about you guys on our team call this morning with my team and how it's been like a very like, and you guys might not, it might not have felt this way, but like from our kind of like outside perspective, it's been like a very textbook process. It was like you guys kind of came in like with kind of like not like super strong foundations, I'd say. So
Mhm.
then it was just kind of like one step at a time. It's like first we solved the lead problem, right? Started running some ads and then got some leads coming in. You guys have been crushing it with content too. That's been blowing up, getting you a bunch of organic reach as well, which is great. So you guys have a B2C offer. So that's been perfect. And then from there, it's like, yeah, then it's the content in the middle of the funnel. It's the content, the VSL, stuff like that, kind of warming up, nurturing. And then from there, it becomes like a setting problem. So I know you guys hopped on with Eduardo, the CSM and scale, help you guys
Yeah.
kind of unlock that appointment setting process and then started packing up the calendars. And then now it's like a sales problem. So it just kind of like went like from the top to the middle, now to the bottom of the funnel. And then like from there, the next issue, kind of like after the sales problem is like really dialed in, then it's going to be kind of a fulfillment problem because you're signing too many clients now. And like the front end is like kind of too efficient. So it's been really cool for me and the team to kind of see that process as well. So yeah. Can you guys speak on a little bit about like what it was like, kind of what you guys were feeling, how things were going, kind of the state of the business, any thoughts you were having where you're like doubting whether or not this is going to work and stuff like that? Because I know a lot of people kind of have those thoughts. And
Yeah.
I had a similar conversation with Adrian a couple weeks ago as well. And he was like, man, like, yeah, before he's like, I was like, was kind of losing hope with the business, didn't really know if this thing was going to work out or whatever. Like, were you guys experiencing much of that at all?
You want to get that?
I don't think so. We didn't really doubt that it wouldn't work. The biggest effect that it did play was like it cut down the time that it would have taken us to get here, right? Like let's say it would have taken us like
Wait,
maybe
wait. I think Jeremy, you mean like before we started with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we did. I doubted this a lot. I don't think he did so
no,
much.
I didn't,
Yeah.
because you've scaled other offers, right? I think
No, he's talking about before we started working with him.
okay, okay, just answer it.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, like I doubted this a lot because like I understand things take time, but like I feel like if I'm doing everything in my power, then there's no reason it shouldn't be quick. And it wasn't quick at all. Like in the beginning, we were running too many different types of funnels and just like stretching ourselves too thin. Like I said this to you on our first call, I think, and I was like, if you copy someone's like squat form from the outside, right? Like you see someone squatting, it's a perfect, perfect form, and you're trying to copy it. You're gonna miss mental cues. You're gonna miss certain things that they have like, implanted in their head that they're doing for a reason. You don't know the why, so you're just copying from the outside. So you'll never have that same end result. And like I was trying to copy what you teach without being part of your program, but like copying the ads you run, stuff like that isn't why I think your clients, including us, are successful. I think it's every single thing. And if you even miss like one portion, then you're not going to get the same results. And that's what we experienced ourselves.
That's a really good point, man. And I see that a lot too. And like, even just like, because I know like we've only been working together for what, like about 2 months, maybe,
Yeah.
like if that. And so I think like a lot has happened within that. So it's been very quick growth. But like, let's say, for example, just like tangibly, there was like a setting problem, right? So we were getting tons of leads coming in, but then nobody, like, we're having an issue booking calls. So then a lot of people, like, let's say copying from the outside or whatever, they'd be like, oh, the ads don't work, right? And like with setting and sales and stuff like that, like those are all the kind of skills that you like can work on and level up and get better at. But then, so then with that too, sometimes I know I had this when I first started as well. I thought I was good at sales, but
Mhm.
then I took a whole bunch of sales calls and the numbers told me that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, but then if I'm like hopping on a ton of sales calls with people and they're not closing, then I might blame it on like the ads or the leads or whatever. So it's kind of hard, like from the outside, kind of like what you're saying, to identify where the real problem is. And yeah, being able to dial in each little component of the business and the funnel is really critical too. Because yeah, I know you guys probably see it too. Like a lot of people copy my ads
Yeah.
and my clients' ads and stuff like that too. But it's not. I've said this before. It's like it's not the ads that unlock the growth. It's every little piece of the puzzle, right?
I just saw some guy this morning, or maybe the day before, who literally showed you in his ad or in his reel, and he said like this is the ad strategy that you should use. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw one yesterday. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, about like stealing people that like go to the people that liked my ad and then
Exactly.
call them, message them. Yeah, yeah. I thought that was hilarious. But anyways, hey, I mean, respect, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cool. So what's kind of been like some of the main takeaways and insights that you guys have learned? Like if you were to tell yourself from like 2 months ago, like if you were to have a conversation with your guys' selves from like 2 months ago, what would you tell yourself?
What do you think? I gotta answer something.
I know I'll answer something. What was the question again?
If you had a conversation with yourselves from like 2, 3 months ago,
Yeah.
before we started working together, let's say you didn't even know anything about me or anything like that, like what kind of advice would you give yourselves to help kind of like unlock scale and results?
Dang, you gotta answer this. I don't know the answer to that.
Again, it would just be like everything has to be bulletproof. Like your middle of funnel, your top of funnel, your sales. Like we're working on that right now. We're trying to get better
Mhm.
at sales. But if your top of funnel is good and your cost per call is low enough, your sales won't matter. You're still going to be very profitable, right? So I would say like it did take a little while for us to like learn everything. And in the beginning, like I remember when Eduardo said our setting wasn't good, I almost like didn't accept it or like couldn't believe it. Um,
Mhm.
even though it was shit. But like you have to like be like not take things to heart or like you know what I mean? Like it's constructive criticism, right? And like that's why we pay you and your team is like for that. So just being more open-minded, like sooner we would have had more success, I guess. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, kind of checking the ego at the door there.
Yeah. 100%.
Nice, nice. And like in terms, because I know a lot of people watching this are probably gonna be like wondering about like the tangibles, like, okay, what were you making before? What are you making now? Kind of thing. Like, are you able to? And if you want to keep this private too, absolutely. But like you can even just say, oh yeah, like we 2x or 3x or like whatever that looks like. But I know you guys shared a win the other day that was like you made more in a week than you made in your biggest month before.
Yeah.
And yeah, what was that kind of like the tangible kind of transformation there? Just kind of paint a bit of a picture.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just talk about it openly. So like in January, we did 2K cash collected, and I mean, it took us to the 18th to even build out the offer and everything. So I think we did okay for ourselves. And then February, we started working with you like last maybe week and a half of February, I think roughly somewhere around there. And we did 8K cash collected, and then first week of March, we did 10K cash collected. So like that's more than our whole last month, February. And then we've already done 5K cash collected since then. And like we've been facing some Instagram issues, as you know, so it would have been a little bit more hopefully before the calls that I was hoping for, but you know, it's okay now, and we'll get that. That's okay now. But we're shooting for around like 40K cash collected, 30K cash collected this month. So like 4xing the business practically like every month.
Love that, man. Yeah, that's huge. I know a lot of people that are kind of at that level that you guys were at too are probably just wondering how the hell is this possible?
I
Right.
mean, we're very scrappy as well. Like we've been car salesmen, like like I've been a car salesman for a number of years, and like uh,
Mm.
I'm very okay with the sales process. Like I might not be the best like closer, but like as far as like following up and getting scrappy with leads, like dude, we'll work out a payment plan, brother.
Yeah.
I'll call you back every week. We'll work something out. It's not an issue.
Oh, I love that, man. Yeah. One thing that I've noticed that like you guys done an extremely good job at, and like I respect you guys a ton for, is getting scrappy with it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a lot of people are afraid to take imperfect action, but you guys are just action takers. Like you just do the thing and you do it a lot and you do it over and over and over consistently, and then keep tweaking, and then you get the results. Whereas a lot of people are like kind of afraid to start. What would like are you able to kind of talk about that a little bit? Because I know a lot of people like their growth is like stunted and prevented because they don't actually like do the work. They just don't take action. And I know one thing that has led to your guys' growth, and I was the exact same way at the start. I was like, what? All right, how much do you have in your bank account? Like, we'll make this work, right? And whatnot. So yeah, do you mind kind of like touch on that a little bit? What advice would you give to somebody who like is just overthinking things a lot?
Yeah, like just to give some perspective, like with your ad strategy too, this might like our winning copy now might be my sixth ad, I think. And like each time I made one, I was like, dude, fuck, I don't want to make one, but we would just keep nailing them out. And like I was like, something's gonna work. And like I remember whether it was the targeting not being right, we'd figure something out, and like we were never afraid to spend money. Um, and like I remember I started out with my budget for my ads at like 130 a day. And like most people are scared to even spend it after like making a huge ROI. Like we were just practically breaking even at that point, and I was still um like spending that much right away because I understood the more I spend, the quicker I find out, right? So then um that's why we got to the point of like having a good top of funnel so quickly, is because um like we figured out the targeting, then we figured out the copy, then we optimized the copy, um and then yeah, like we take a lot of action. I think you're right on that.
A lot of trial and error for
Like
sure.
you know, you always say do it until it breaks. Like our systems are all practically like broken earlier this week, and like I hired a setter amidst all that, and like literally packing out two calendars back to back, and yeah, like we never turned off ads. Like I'm not gonna turn off ads. If anything, I'm gonna spend more. I'm not gonna turn things off when they start working. Like I'll never do that. So um like exactly, like it's a good thing something's breaking like your systems, and you should just continue like going ham and working like you know and like grinding. Like Lee put out a video saying like if you're not going to bed tired every night, like you're not working enough. Um like yeah, ideally you want your calendar to be packed out like all day, right? You shouldn't have like 3 hours of journaling, screaming in the mirror, and all that stuff, right? Like all it should just be calls back to back, you know. Sales
Yeah.
calls, like yesterday we onboarded 3 clients, like practically back to back to back. So,
Wow. How many calls a day are you guys booking right now?
It's a
uh,
bit slow right now because our Instagram's down, but we're
yeah,
still booking like 2 to 3 calls at least. And before that, before
like when
Instagram,
everything's working as it should, we're booking anywhere from 10 to 15, 16 a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'll get right back there very quickly. This is a temporary issue,
Hmm.
but yeah, like we're and that was without a setter. Like we just brought on our setter Sunday. So like we'll easily be able to book out like 2, 3 calendars very soon here.
That's awesome. Yeah. And just for everybody watching too, like the Instagram issue, it was just like the DMs were a little too hot. And it was just like a restriction on the amount of messages you could send, right? And then but it was a really weird like error because it was like kind of glitched with your account and stuff. And then you guys got scrappy with it, you figured it out, and then just paid somebody to help you out, right?
Yeah, so what happened is on Sunday, like amidst all the crazy calls back to back to back, we're missing a shit ton of followers. We didn't have a setter at the time, and
Mhm.
we made a bad
we
decision.
made a bad decision. Yeah, we DM'd like 30 people in an hour, and we didn't get any message warning or anything, and yeah, like
It just stopped letting us like DM new followers.
yeah, so we were only able to access old conversations, and we still packed out our calendar like 2, 3 days
Yeah,
ahead of that.
up
So
until like Tuesday, I'd say Monday,
yeah.
Tuesday. Even right now,
Well,
we're still booking
We're
three,
still
four
booking
calls
calls,
each.
you just don't book as many, right?
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Okay. Well, what's next for you guys? Like, what's kind of the vision? Where do you guys want to take this? And what are kind of the next steps that you have in order to get there?
We definitely want to be doing 100K a month within, I'd say
Yeah.
like two,
By June minimum.
yeah. Like, you mean like maximum?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So, so yeah, like I think that's very, very realistic. And like as we just keep putting in the inputs, and we'll get there. And like one thing that find really cool about like this funnel that you teach is like I feel like our CPL is getting lower. I feel like it's optimizing more and we're not spending any more. So it's not like scaling like how you normally scale, and like we're having leads that have been they're being nurtured from our page hit us up now. So like you can almost make more without having to like spend more. You know what I mean? It's not like the conventional um way of scaling. And like next month we're already set to do like 10K just in MRR. So like
Mhm.
every month's just it's just building that from payment plans and stuff, and like we're only getting better and improving this. Like we want to take this big. Like today I just hopped off a call right before this with someone who could help us with our product, and they run some type of bot that our customers could use. So
Mhm.
yeah, like long term we really want to blow this up into something big.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the vision. I know you guys, if anybody's gonna do it, it's you two. So I'll tell you that. So that's awesome, man. Yeah, so when it comes to like client success and stuff like that, let's kind of double click on that a little bit. What does you guys' program look like? How do you like, and you don't have to go into like nitty-gritty details or anything like that. I'd imagine maybe at the start you kind of started with like one-on-ones and stuff like that. How's that evolved, and like what's kind of the vision for that?
Yeah, so in the beginning, actually, what we did was, like once we signed our first client in January, I just told them we're packed out like a week, and then I just made the entire course in that week.
Yeah.
And then he started having good results, and I was having a lot of doubts then. Like, I don't even know if I want to do this because we came from a background of us already making over 6 figures each, right? We're not
Mhm.
like the conventional coach or people like I guess people you get in your program. So we were already making good money and we went to like this to making nothing, right? So that mental switch was kind of hard, and he started having good results, and I was like, we should just continue with this. If we can like help someone make money unconventionally, then they like he would have never been able to before, then we should just continue with this.
Mhm.
Like I always hear like the more impact you have, like the more you'll make in return, right? So um we have a lot more impact in helping people make money instead of just like buying and selling cars, right? Because that's like pretty low impact. A lot of people do that already. And yeah, like as far as fulfillment of clients, he takes care of that, but right now it's hard because of the calendars being packed. But we're trying our best, and we always like respond to them as fast as possible and everything. And it's right now it is a lot of one-on-one calls. It is still like we're gonna transition to the group thing soon. But right now we have the time, so we give as much one-on-one time as people need.
Nice. Again, getting scrappy with it. There's a theme
Yeah.
here. I love it, man. Yeah, because like I remember back when I first started too, it's like I didn't even have a program either.
Yeah.
And like I would message my clients and be like, hey, let's get a one-on-one tomorrow. I want to make sure like you're moving forward. And it's like at the start, it's like I think my first client paid me like $1,500. I was on like 3 one-on-ones with him a week. And just getting scrappy because all I had was time and no case studies behind me. So I was like, okay, let's build the foundation here. And I think a lot of people are afraid to do that. A lot of people are afraid of hard work, it seems. But again, it doesn't have to stay this way forever, right? Then you start to build leverage in the business, right? Build out, kind of rebuild the program a couple of times based on lots of feedbacks and lots of people through. Because like you guys literally started like 2 months ago, and we started working together like just over like a month ago, probably now. And so like things have been moving quick. So you're gonna keep getting lots of feedback and data and stuff like that from the clients. Start to identify like who's your best clients. So who are the ones that pay you the most, pay you on time, that send you referrals, that get incredible results very quickly. Like identify all those triggers, those factors there, and then figure out, okay, who are these people? Try to reverse engineer their journey of like how they found you originally, what got them interested, what videos did they watch that sold them, and all this kind of stuff. Why did they end up actually signing up with you? What were their goals? Right. And then what did they do that other people haven't done on the inside of the program too? And like just reverse engineer the whole process and kind of rebuild everything to like only speak to like that specific person. And then you'll start attracting a lot more of them too. And it'll make your lives easier. You get way better results quicker, and also make a lot more money too. So yeah, just little piece of advice there, but nonetheless, yeah. So I'm curious to hear like from your guys' perspective too, because I love asking like my clients for feedback and whatnot. Like what parts of the program were like most valuable that led to like kind of, or like maybe you were expecting it before, maybe you didn't expect it and it was like a pleasant surprise or something like that. What have you enjoyed about the program?
The community aspect's huge. Like I always have Slack open. And just like your CSMs, like Austin, Eduardo, like that's a huge piece that I didn't even expect. And like you got to think if Eduardo never hopped on that call with us, we would have just fizzled out and been another bad, unsuccessful customer in your program, right? So like the fact that he took the initiative and was like, oh my, like, he looked over our DMs and he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Let's hop on a call. Like that's what really changed everything for us. And also just watching like Austin's calls. Like I try to watch the recordings as much as I can to help with our sales. Like that's been huge because I never even knew how to do a properly structured sales call before that. Like even though I had an agency, like I was terrible at the call aspect. And I realized like if you have a process going into it that it's been proven, like it makes your life so much easier. And like the first time I used his framework, like I closed a 5K PIF. So yeah, like it clearly works. And like I sent the call back to my younger brother who's a closer, and he watched and he said like I was almost about to cry like 30 minutes in.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's a really good point, and I appreciate you bringing that up too. I realize I don't talk about that enough in my marketing as well.
Yeah.
Is like the support on the back end. Somebody actually just told me that yesterday. A new client signed up, and he came in and he's like, "Dude, like I didn't realize like what it's actually like on the other side." So maybe I have to pull back the curtain a little bit more. But like just for context as well, like Eduardo used to be an appointment setter, booking like 10 calls a day, and also like a performance coach, which is like an absolute weapon. So it solves the setting problem. And Austin is taking over 7,000 sales calls, helps solve the sales problem. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like from my side, you guys are probably going to start seeing this too, as some of your students and your clients really start to excel, then you'll be able to like kind of bring them on to run coaching calls too, to have a different perspective, to then help people like just from a bit of a different perspective too. And then not all roads lead back to you anymore and stuff. And then your clients get better results. The community starts to thrive a lot more too. But yeah, it's cool because like Eduardo's better at setting than I am. Alex or Austin is better at sales than I am too. So it's like, and they're here to help you. So that's super cool too. That you guys mentioned that, because yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to have access to something like that too. Cool. So before we kind of like tie things up here, what kind of advice would you give somebody who is starting the coaching business? Well, maybe not starting. They've started it like probably like within the last, I don't know, 6 months to 2 years. They've been grinding. They haven't really been seeing the results that they want. They kind of plateaued a little bit, and they're just kind of uncertain with the future of it. Like, what would you tell that person?
Join your program. Yeah, because the thing is, it's like, there's a lot of copycats who copy you and your stuff, right? And the difference is like they don't have your community. Not even close. Like not just your CSMs, they don't have everyone else. Like it's such a cool community to be a part of. Like guys like Lee, like they make it so like just fun. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome, and it's like so positive. Like I never see negativity in there. It's super motivating. Like to just be in the calls in the beginning, like when we were booking no calls and people be talking about like their packed out calendars and stuff, and like we're sitting here like not even knowing how people book these appointments in the first place. I was like, what's the secret sauce they're doing that we don't know what it is? But it's a great place to be, and like obviously you're well known and you've had a lot of success because of your clients getting success, right? So like I think like we were getting quoted from cheaper like coaching coaches and all that as well, but I just thought like, okay, what's going to happen is we're going to spend money with them, right? And we're going to regret it or not have the results we're looking for, and then we're going to end up paying you anyways, and now we spend more money when we should have just went with the actual option first. Like it goes back to, if X and Y were the same price, which one would you go with? And then you just go with the one you actually want to go with, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And yeah, it's funny you say that too. Yesterday, I literally had a referral come from another program too that wasn't getting the support they wanted, and or that they were expecting or promised. And there's a lot of false promises in this industry, as I'm sure you guys know. Like everybody out there is just kind of copying and blowing smoke, right? So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate your guys' energy too. Like you guys are just absolute killers, dropping wins channel all the time. You guys, like, I know our group chat in Slack with me, you guys, Eduardo, it's like it's active. We're going back and forth all the time. Fires come up, get like all hands on deck. Let's put them out. So yeah, I appreciate the quality of the questions you guys ask as well, and the action that you take. Like you're just amazing to work with, and the results are a direct reflection of that too. Just like how you guys show up for yourselves, for your own business, for your clients, and everything like that too. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys. It's been a blast working together so far, and like I have and I know before we record, I had mentioned this as well. Like I have a feeling we're going to be maybe having another conversation like this, maybe 3, 4, 5 months out from now, when you guys are cracking those 6-figure months. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
at the masterminds.
100%, man. 100%. Yeah. So I was talking to the team about that this morning. We're going to lock in a place and everything like ASAP, but it'll be like kind of first, second week of June somewhere in Europe. So that'll be a blast. But I'll keep you guys posted with that. With that said, any last pieces of advice, anything else you want to share before we wrap things up here?
No, I mean it's been like I'm awesome to work with you. Like I didn't even think it would be this good, and like I couldn't be happier. Like I've been following you for a long, long time, like over a year now. So yeah, like it's been awesome, and I recommend anyone to join your program. Like genuinely, if you want to scale your coaching program, and by the way, when we came in, we weren't even like meeting your minimum requirements. That you probably knew that already, but like we were not even close to like meeting the requirements you usually ask of coaches, like the 5 to 10K a month. But I was like, if anyone's gonna be able to pull it off, it's gonna be us. Even though we weren't there yet, I was like, we'll just work our asses off. And yeah, like if you have a good work ethic, I think there's no reason someone shouldn't succeed with what you teach.
100%, man. And I kind of like, I could tell from the start too. I like my intuition, my hunch was like, oh man, you guys are like, you guys are killers. And that's something that like you can't really fake, you know? So yeah, no, that's been awesome. Appreciate that. And again, appreciate hopping on here. For those watching, if you are interested, check out the main video on my channel. Breaks down the whole process. Lots has changed since that one too. I'll have to update it again soon. Because obviously, as the guys just said, there's a lot more behind the scenes on the other side in the program that I don't really talk about too much in my marketing. So just DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, or book a call down below and we'll get scaling today. So again, thanks so much, gentlemen. Really appreciate you guys.
All right, take care,
Okay.
Jeremy.
Thank you,
You
Jeremy.
too.